What if I told you that the last game you bought wasn't actually yours? That question has become a lot more relevant after Rockstar and Sony made moves that suggest the future of gaming is digital only. Rockstar's handling of Grand Theft Auto 6 and Sony's announcement that PlayStation will stop producing physical game discs for new releases beginning in 2028 have ignited one of the biggest debates in gaming today. And if you're someone who still buys games on disc, you have every reason to be paying attention. Digital games are convenient, there's no arguing that. You can preload them, switch between games instantly, and never leave your couch. But convenience comes with trade-offs. The gaming industry is moving toward a future where publishers have more control than ever before and consumers have less. And that's exactly why physical media still matters. Sony says the move reflects changing consumer preferences, with digital purchases now making up the overwhelming majority of PlayStation game sales. Digital distribution also eliminates manufacturing costs, shipping, retailer cuts, and used game resales. For publishers, it's a dream scenario. Every sale happens in their own ecosystem. No middleman, no resale market, no discounts from retailers competing with one another. From a business perspective, it makes perfect sense. But what's good for publishers isn't always what's best for players. When you buy a physical disc, you own an item. You can lend it to a friend, sell it, trade it, put it on a shelf. 20 years later, if the hardware still works, chances are you can still play it. A digital purchase is different. In most cases, you're purchasing a license, not permanent ownership. If licensing agreements expire, if online storefronts shut down, or if content gets delisted, access can become complicated or disappear entirely. We've already seen examples across the entertainment industry where purchased digital content has been removed from storefronts or affected by licensing changes, raising legitimate concerns about long-term ownership. That's not fear-mongering, that's reality. There's another cost to going all digital that doesn't get talked about enough: storage. Modern AAA games regularly launch at 100, 150, or even 200 gigabytes. A handful of games can fill an entire console's internal drive. When you buy a physical game, much of the game's data can still be installed from the disc, even if updates are required. With a digital-only purchase, every single byte has to be downloaded and stored on your console or PC. Eventually, most players run out of space. That means buying additional storage. On PlayStation 5, for example, expanding storage requires a compatible NVMe SSD. And with prices rising over the past few years, high-capacity drives, especially 2 and 4 terabyte models, represent a significant extra expense for many players. And if memory prices rise because of supply shortages, increased demand, tariffs, or changes in manufacturing, consumers, not publishers, absorb these costs. The shift to digital doesn't just change how games are delivered, it shifts part of the infrastructure cost onto the consumer. Instead of publishers paying to manufacture discs, print cases, and ship products around the world, players are increasingly expected to pay for faster internet, higher data caps where they exist, and larger storage drives just to maintain a growing digital library. Those expenses may not seem obvious when you buy your first digital game, but over the life of a console, they can add up to hundreds of dollars. That's the cost that rarely gets mentioned when companies talk about the convenience of an all-digital future. Physical media also plays a huge role in preservation. Gaming history exists today because collectors, museums, archivists, and everyday players held on to physical copies. Imagine trying to preserve gaming history 50 years from now if everything exists only as downloadable files controlled by corporations. If servers disappear, if authentication services go offline, if licenses expire, entire generations of games could become difficult or impossible to access legally. Physical media isn't just nostalgia, it's insurance. Another overlooked benefit of physical games: competition. When multiple retailers sell physical copies, prices naturally drop. Stores compete, sales happen more often, and consumers save money. Digital storefronts have sales too, but the platform owner ultimately controls the ecosystem. Without physical competition, publishers gain greater pricing power, and history tells us that less competition rarely leads to better deals for consumers. Rockstar is one of the biggest publishers in gaming. Sony is one of the biggest platform holders. When companies this influential move toward digital-only releases, the rest of the industry notices. Whether this becomes the new standard remains to be seen, but it unquestionably pushes the conversation forward. If consumers continue embracing digital without question, other publishers may feel even more comfortable reducing or eliminating physical releases. That's why this debate matters. It's bigger than one game. It's bigger than one console. It's about what ownership looks like in the future. Physical media isn't perfect. Many modern games still require patches or internet connections, but owning something tangible still gives players options that digital licenses simply don't. You can collect it, share it, resell it, preserve it, and perhaps most importantly, no one can simply remove it from your shelf with the click of a button. The future of gaming may very well be digital, but that doesn't mean we should stop asking whether that's actually better for players. What do you think? Is physical media worth saving, or is digital convenience worth giving up ownership? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, a huge shout out to all my subscribers. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.